Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm starting to say this every month, but I cannot believe it's time for another monthly energy forecast. So we're going to be looking at the energy of September, what might be coming for us, but better yet, how we can prepare, where we can each be energetically to endure, weather, celebrate the month, however you want to look at it. So if you're new here, welcome. My name's Heather. I am an intuitive counselor, animal communicator, energy healer, author, artist. Did I get all of it? Coach? I don't know. A lot of stuff, but all with a goal of helping you connect with your divine radiant light. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, as I tend to do on this channel. So every month I channel on my channel messages from my team of guides, and that is a team of spirit and multidimensional beings who have kind of partnered with me in this lifetime to help bring information through for me, for all of us, and happy to do it, happy to be here and share it with all of you. So thank you for taking the time to hang out for a few minutes. This month might be a little shorter on time for the video, but we'll see once we start diving in. So the theme for September is resilience. Now, if I'm hearing that for the first time, I'm like, oh, what do I need to be resilient about? What's coming? What's going to happen? So I don't have any kind of intel. I don't have any inside track on any events happening with any specificity. I will say, however, though, that so many of us in this community have picked up on or have heard from others that some things might be coming. It might start to get a little bit crunchy. It might start to get a little more uncomfortable for us in the United States and possibly even a global scale. So not to be alarmist, just saying, heads up, buckle up, buttercups. We need to be attentive to ourselves and attentive to the world around us. We need to be attentive to our ability to speak in complete sentences too. But when we talk about resilience, what was coming up was, first the definition. It's being able to reset yourself, being able to recover quickly from difficulty. And there's a toughness and there's an elasticity. So there was kind of a motto that came up early, and that was resilience is brilliance. So keeping that in mind, being resilient is how we each shine more brightly. And the team wanted to draw a comparison to those of us in this community. And by community, I mean those of us who want to make the world a better place, who want to make ourselves better so that we can make the world a better place. Those of us in this community. The overall imagery that was coming through first was that of this community being like the circulatory system for the whole planet, for all of humanity. So if you think of yourself as a piece of a whole, because we are all part of this tapestry. But if you think of it as an organism and think of yourself as a cell within the circulatory system, what's the point of the circulatory system? It is to bring in oxygen, bring in power, bring in nutrients, and get rid of waste. So that's what so many of us do. We are bringing in information, we're bringing in insights, we're bringing in intel, and we're helping with the discernment of that's what might need to go. That's what doesn't measure up. Look at it this way. Maybe we eliminate this from our thinking or our way of being, whatever. So we are, in doing that, bringing nutrients and oxygen to the whole, to all of it. So if you think of being part of a community that does that, you really want to see where your ability to recover and be resilient is. Because if you are in a state of stress, if you're in adrenal fatigue, if you are amped up, like if you think of the circulatory system, if everybody is at like a fever pitch, then that's like having high blood pressure. And that oxygen, those nutrients, that information doesn't flow through as easily as it could. So we want to be able to come back to let things happen, let them flow past, and come back to center. So when I say come back to center, that for me as you all here know, is coming back to your divine radiant self. So there are many ways to do that to help you get in touch with yourself. I work with a lot of you in helping find those footsteps back to you. I have books on the topic. I have services that I offer that can help you. Others do as well. But whatever it is that helps you absolutely know and stand in a position of confidence, knowing your worth, knowing your divinity, knowing your light and how brightly you shine it. Anything that takes you off of that is what you need to recover from and be resilient to about. I'm not sure how you would say that, but having that ability to do that opens up the whole community, supports the whole community, which then supports the whole organism of the collective, we would say, or of humanity. So being resilient is being elastic and bouncing back from things. And the image that comes up with that for some of you that might be helpful is, and I know I use it a lot, but it's such a good sign, it's the infinity symbol. So if you think of it looping around, think of that as like two rubber bands stretching and coming back. Have that elasticity with yourself. And what's just coming in from the team too is that a piece of resilience and elasticity is self-forgiveness and compassion. That helps you reset. So wherever you can kind of not treat yourself or others so harshly, they just want you to take a look at that, all of us, to take a look at that within ourselves, because that is sometimes preventing our elasticity. We show up and we are righteous and we are indignant and we are passionate, and sometimes we're inflexible, and that prevents some of that resilience. So the element of the natural world that wanted to come through to kind of support this message was that of a cactus. A cactus stores stuff up. It has periods of plenty and it has periods of drought, but it stores water within itself. It changes its flowers, or it has evolved to have flowers that are a little prickly to keep things away from it. It has boundaries. That's something I wish so many of us could work on. Good, healthy boundaries. And it blooms when it's time to bloom. And it knows that rain is going to come when rain is going to come, but it's prepared when rain isn't there to survive and do just fine on its own. And they're plentiful. There are so many. They're just absolutely gorgeous. They're resilient. That's what we can be. The animal that wants to come through is a bear, as you might imagine, stores up, goes into hibernation, pops back out in the spring, has those cycles of time within its lifespan that it totally just handles and vibes with. And when there is plenty of food, it consumes. When it needs to rest, it rests. Having that balance and not being stuck on one way of being, but always being able to come back to yourself. So something else the team wants to bring up about resilience and why it's coming up this month and why it may not be comfortable for some of us. We may think we're resilient in that, yeah, you knock me down, I get back up. There's that song, I think the band was Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. That song's been looping in my head for days now, so hopefully me delivering this message helps that get out of my head. But why it's so challenging for so many of us is the undercurrent of resilience. What is propping that up is self-worth and faith and trust in ourselves and each other and the overall outcome. So it's hard to feel like you want to get back up when you don't believe that getting back up accomplishes anything, when you don't feel that you're worthy to get back up. And we've been programmed for thousands of years to not feel worthy. You can debate what forces there were in the world that caused that, whether it was just shifts in consciousness or external forces or whatever. We're not going to have that conversation here. But just know that you've been made to feel not worthy because it was advantageous for other people to suppress that worthiness within you. So you got to go dig for it. You've got to be the gold miner sifting through all of the rock and the rubble to find those pieces of you that shine. So The art for the month is what you see here. And what the team wants to talk about with the art is that it shows this tapestry. It shows like a flow, a blood flow, like the circulatory system. And it shows how we are, all of us, intertwined behind the scenes, real time, flowing into one another, into this elasticity resilience that is just beautiful and connected and ever changing, ever evolving, but also reliable and steady, and there for all of us to tap into, because we're all part of that system. So we can all benefit from that. And then the affirmation for the month is, I am contributing my highest and best good to the overall tapestry of light. We really want to picture that tapestry of light. And there was an activity that came through. It's something I do most nights before I go to sleep. Super helpful for kind of getting rid of the energetic gunk that we tend to accumulate. And just know that as you develop more of your intuitive skills, more of those subtle energies within yourself, you can be more aware of things coming into your field that you may not prefer to have there. So the activity is to imagine that you're holding, you can picture like a gold, like a pan where you're sifting for gold. I couldn't think of the word, but I also like to think of like a window screen. If you're holding the screen and it has all of the like squares of holes in it, or you can think of holding like a fishing net too. And just taking that in your mind's eye, or you can use your arms and hands and act it out, just pulling that down over your energy body. And as you do that, it's capturing the gunk, it's capturing the debris, it's capturing the negative energy. And you're just going to go all the way down the length of your body and return all of that. You're keeping the gold, you're returning the dust and the debris and the rocks to the earth where it can be restored and replenished. So when I have trouble sleeping, that one thing is what can help me. I actually kind of filter or grid my whole house sometimes. The property, I just picture this big, like I said, like a window screen coming down over everything and just taking everything that doesn't serve the highest and best good and returning it to the earth. So I hope that helps you. This was a little shorter than most of our monthly videos, but I just wanted to get it out there, get you thinking about it. If you would like to download this month's art, it's free for the month that it applies to, and there's a link below if you want to click there and do it. You can download it yourself. Sometimes these don't print so well on your average at-home printer, and that's just because of all the layers of different information that go into the art. So every stroke, every color is translated, by the computer into a piece of data, and sometimes it's overwhelming for the at-home printer, but you can download the art, look at it on your phone, your laptop. Some people keep it as a screensaver. You can also order a printed version in 8x10 that I sign and mail to you. And those look really great. Very high quality paper they're printed on. So whatever works for you, it's available. It's out there to connect with and help you vibe and connect with and support you in your quest for resilience. I hope you have a most amazing day. Thanks again for spending some time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.